an exciting environment to work in. Everybody's jazzed about it.
The special effects themselves are amazing. They said, "Do you mind being a lizard?" And I said, "No."
Roll, please. And action.
For nearly 30 years, since a certain starship first took us to imaginative new worlds, science fiction dramatic series have been an important part of television history. I'm proud to have been a part of that history. And tonight, I'm just as proud to introduce a bold new chapter in that story. It's an exciting, uniquely different series that could forever change the way you look at science fiction television. But don't take my word for it. Judge for yourself as we take you behind the scenes. We'll show you groundbreaking special effects and new, breathtaking achievements in makeup, sets, and costumes. You'll meet the composer, the producers, the cast, and the top science fiction writers who have combined their talents to create this fantastic new vision of the future. I'm Walter Koenig. Welcome to the making of Babylon 5.
How are we going to find this friend of Adira's?
I have a friend or two down here myself.
I take it these are not them?
Go!
The fact that this is Babylon 5 indicates just how perilous it is up here. That 1, 2, and 3 were sabotaged and destroyed, that 4 disappeared without a trace. And now this is 5.
It is 250 years into the future, aboard a 5-mile-long, self-contained world encased in metal. Space Station Babylon 5 is an orbiting port of call precariously placed among the stars in neutral territory. Its goal? To try and keep war from breaking out between inhabitants of distant worlds.
Babylon 5 functions almost as a UN between 4 alien and 1 human civilization. And they have located their ambassadors on Babylon 5 to try and work out their problems.
Many of these cultures have recently, or in the near past, have been at war.
We should have wiped out your kind when we had the chance.
What happened? Run out of small children to butcher?
You pig!
Let me go! Listen to me, Ambassador. Your time has come and gone. It's our turn now.
There are about 250,000 human and non-human inhabitants on Babylon 5. So there are all of these personal stories. In that sense, Babylon 5 is the naked city.
Of all things in life, are females not the finest?
On that, Larry, we can at least agree.
I've heard it described as Casablanca in the year 2257, and it really is like that.
We have traders and smugglers and spies and forged passports. It's a very rowdy environment.
How about you and me blow this joint and go play a little scan the sector?
To provide this colorful ensemble of characters with rich, powerful, and personal stories, legendary science fiction writers were enlisted as part of the Babylon 5 creative team.
We have gone back to people like Harlan Ellison, Dorothy Fontana, David Gerrold, and others who were on the original Star Trek, who made that show a success. Said, here's a new universe for you to play in.
In so many science fiction series that are out now, there are no faults and flaws. They're perfect heroes. Well, I don't believe in perfect heroes.
The idiosyncrasies of each of the characters on the ship is what's cool about it, because everyone's carrying a demon.
I mean, what's going on around here? We got a war breaking out in Ragash 3, pirates at work over here. You ask me, the universe is going to hell in a handbasket.
Michael Alfredo Garibaldi. He's the chief of security. He's been bounced around from station to station, and here I am for what I understand to be my last attempt at proving myself.
Would you really have killed me?
Yes, I would have, but I'm just as glad I didn't have to. The paperwork's a pain in the butt.
I play the kind of a guy who's a leader because he doesn't make a lot of speeches, but you just get the idea after a while that he's the one who you can count on. But Jeff's not above getting a little teed off or getting a little rough around the edges to make things work.
What a challenge that must have been to the great Narn military. Don't have the guts for a fair fight?
In another place, I would have you skinned alive for saying that.
There's a person part of Londo, and then there's the ambassador part of him. And they're very different people.
This is Benzak, god of fools, and Lee, goddess of passion.
Someone who has comic potentials and dramatic potentials within the same character. That's really what I hooked into and I love about him.
Since the original Babylon 5 two-hour movie, new characters have been added to make the action even more intriguing.
This is my first officer, Lieutenant Commander Susan Ivanova. Susan, Dr. Stephen Franklin, our new medical chief of staff.
It's a pleasure. We're honored to have you aboard.
We felt very strongly that what we needed for a second in command was someone who was very strong, very prepossessing.
She just doesn't take any, BS. Can I say that? Overreacting, Mr. Garibaldi. There could be any number of reasons for this communications anomaly.
Such as?
Computer error, magnetic pulse.
I checked that.
Well, maybe one of the ambassadors is trying to save a few credits again. Or perhaps it's what us Russian pilots used to call gremlins. I've done science fiction movies a lot, but I usually play, the stripper caught with an alien in my body and stuff like that.
It will take a strong-willed second-in-command to deal with a mysterious society of telepaths for whom the human mind is an open book that only they can read.
Lieutenant Commander Ivanova.
Yes?
Talia Winters, licensed commercial telepath. I've tried to reach you 3 times, but I guess you've been busy. I figured I'd try the direct approach.
Your diligence is commendable. Anything else?
No, I just...
Then you'll excuse me, but I'm in the middle of 15 things, all of them annoying. Thank you for coming by.
It's a very scary organization when you figure that there's this one group of people who can tell what everybody's doing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Babylon 5's alien ambassadors now have their own assistants, who sometimes complicate matters.
And she's going to feed information to Jakar. She's going to be a foil for Jakar, but she takes him down a peg every chance she gets.
That hurt.
Ambassador, it was the only way to disable the pain givers.
And you didn't enjoy it in the least.
I didn't say that.
And if trying to keep order within this group isn't tough enough, the commander has one more thing to complicate his life.
Yes, I stopped sleeping on just one side of the bed, but only because you weren't there.
She has had this on and off again relationship with Commander Sinclair from way back in the academy.
Don't touch me unless you mean it.
But in the 23rd century, they still haven't gotten relationships down pat.
Cut, great. Excellent.
Well, in Babylon 5, nothing is as it seems. And there are some real surprises in store for the audience.
Up next, we'll show you how they create incredible visual effects in space without models and share the secrets that transform Babylon 5's human actors into very realistic aliens. Since movie making began and on through the 1980s, science fiction motion pictures and TV series have used what was then state-of-the-art technology to create fantastic new worlds, starships, and space battles. The process required motion control cameras, intricate models, and thousands of hours to create sequences that lasted only a few moments on the screen. For their time, they were revolutionary. Now, a new special effects revolution is brewing, and Babylon 5 is the first series to take advantage of that revolution, producing amazing outer space scenes without models, without strings, and believe it or not, without cameras.
Because all the visual effects for Babylon 5 are entirely computer generated, there are no physical models. You can move all around them. They don't have to be mounted like a model does.
These are shots that you just could not do with models and cameras. Not that it would be expensive to do, you just couldn't do it.
One of the things that we've really tried to do is lose the computery feel.
Talented animators stretch the limits of a new state-of-the-art, which changes and improves daily.
Shoot the actress, or actor, in this case the actress, in the cockpit mock-up on the stage, and then we'll bring it in, and we composite it into our computer-generated ship.
Stand by, Alpha Wing, ready to launch.
Even effects like laser blasts and matted-in backgrounds are now done with computer art.
I think that the results are a little better because it is a much easier way to animate and to see the flow of action.
We're going to set the standard in a lot of this for a lot of other shows. I don't think anyone else is working in 2D this way, and I don't think anyone's really doing 3D the way we're doing it here.
What's giving you production value are the people that are operating those machines. We're investing in the artist, not the equipment.
Most space battles look like a TV game. The thing that makes the type of computer-generated imagery that we're doing different is we're using filmmakers to do it. We're all designers, we're all artists.
This is Commander Jeffrey Sinclair of Babylon 5 to raiding party. Surrender your vessels or be destroyed.
We really wanted to create a more colourful looking universe.
Gotcha.
That sense of rich, multi-layered textures extends to every aspect of Babylon 5's production. For instance, set design is critical to creating the dramatic mood and believability that thousands of people actually live out here in space.
We try to get the idea that this is a place where people are living. It's a lived-in look. Things are used. Things are constantly under a state of repair. You know, basically we have about 16 standing sets. Those sets can become 38, sometimes 42, depending on the different dressing. This set is the central corridor, and this is one of our favorite sets because it becomes other sets as well. And sometimes in the same day, we have to change this set over, like in 45 minutes. And so what happens is all these walls and stuff and these panels open up, and there's a whole other set waiting behind these walls. Also, the moody lighting, we're not lighting up everybody's faces. We don't want that kind of soap opera lighting. We've really come around with the whole lighting comes from the objects that are in the room.
We have created in what was an old assembly plant a new world of magic.
This place is marvelous.
The original Enterprise was an interesting ship. I think this is an interesting space station. There is an energy transfer from the surroundings onto the set that enlivens a show like this. This thing may take off any day now.
Spectacular special effects and ingenious sets have created a moody, magical atmosphere in which Babylon 5's characters will interact. Now they have to be dressed like they belong here.
I tried to flesh out the designs and create looks for each alien race that were very different and very complex. Lots of layers, lots of detail.
And so with each layer that you put on, you're putting on your character. You sit up a little straighter and your voice changes.
The illusion is almost complete. But how do they transform human actors into amazingly realistic aliens? And how is music from halfway around the world instantly transmitted to punctuate every episode of Babylon 5? Find out when we come back.
You're gonna like this. Here it goes.
When it comes to creating realistic alien beings to inhabit Babylon 5's bold new universe, state-of-the-art takes on a whole new meaning. Combining modern wizardry with ancient crafts, special effects makeup designers and artists turn their imaginations into creatures we've yet to meet.
Yeah, basically, every skin has to be hand-painted. There's really no way to speed it up.
These are also good with a little brown sugar and maple syrup in the morning.
The finished prosthetic masks, custom-made for each actor, are then painstakingly applied. The startling close-up result of this labor is well worth it.
When I look at myself and I have those red contacts in, I really see a reptile standing in front of me.
This is an important guy to be nice to. Unless you like your nose on upside down.
Each creation starts with a sketch, a small clay rendering, or even a 3D computer model. Some of Babylon 5's aliens are actually a combination of full-body makeup and mechanical animatronics.
This is McGrath, and he's the underworld boss. And these are the servo motors that control McGrath's head back and forth and side to side. And this is Russ Johnson here. And Russ actually plays McGrath, and his head, his eyesight is actually right here.
You wish to buy?
Yes.
After shooting is completed for each episode, the scenes have to be edited together. Here, too, this series about the future uses the very latest evolving technology.
Babylon 5 is assembled in a supercomputer.
Our editing facilities are state-of-the-art. Our audio facilities are state-of-the-art. All of this stuff adds up to being able to offer our producers and our directors choices.
We can make changes. We can pull up different takes. 3 years ago, we wouldn't have been able to do this.
What these allow you to do is spend more time in the creative process and less time in the mechanical process.
Even the unearthly musical score is achieved with futuristic global electronics, created and linked instantaneously from opposite sides of our homeworld.
I'm here in California. The orchestra is back in Berlin. They can use the latest technology, which connects me here to my studio back in Berlin through 6 digital telephone lines. Let's redo the section where we have the French horns. Today I write the music in my computer with my light pen, and then I hear it in the next second. Sometimes I think of myself as a sonic painter instead of a composer. Every episode is so much different that I score every episode really individually.
Up next, some very personal reactions to Babylon 5 from the people who work and play here.
I said, is there ever going to be a woman for Garibaldi in the first season? No. I was like, great, I quit.
I hope you've enjoyed this backstage look at the creation of a science fiction legend in the making. You know, apart from the fascinating characters, incredible special effects, makeup, costumes, and music, there's one more thing that really separates this show from anything else around. Its sense of fun.
I can show you my favorite thing in the whole universe. Okay, my second favorite thing in the universe.
Very often science fiction shows have a sense of being deadly serious about them. There are things in our show that are fall down funny.
The sex organs of Centaurs are much overused, I have suspect. Whereas the commander doesn't get much of a break at all.
Oh, well, that perked you up, didn't it? The sex life of Centaurs. Stay tuned.
They're very playful on this show. That's one thing I adore.
I was delighted to personally experience the genuine warmth, camaraderie, and enthusiasm of the Babylon 5 cast, crew, artists, producers, and writers. So delighted that before I knew it, I became a part of it and signed on board for a very different role in an episode that airs late in February.
Just 50 quarters to search. Good. That should help narrow it down. Anatomically impossible, Mr. Garibaldi. But you're welcome to try. Anytime. Anywhere.
I'm Walter Koenig. Thanks for joining me for this inside look at the making of Babylon 5.
Cut. Very nice.